Hello, hello. Are you getting the voice?
Now we are getting, sir.
Okay,
Now we are getting.
okay, no problem. So, dear friends, we are discussing regarding the new remedy, Kali Carbonicum. We have already finished two Kali Bichromicum. Today we are going to learn Kali Carbonicum, a deep antipsychotic remedy, a big polycrest, and a very, very, very useful remedy in our day-to-day practice. Before going to Allen's notes, I want to share one case with all of you. It was a case in 1997, a 50 to 52 years of age male person who was brought to my OPD, a puffy face, swollen eyes, and he was walking with difficulty. He had a very severe backache since last 2-3 years. And he was diagnosed as a case of spinal canal stenosis. He was not able to walk certain distance. He used to get very severe claudications whenever he walks a certain distance. His whole pain was saturated in specifically the lumbar area, the belt area, and there it extends to the thighs posteriorly. The backache was so severe, there is always used to be stiffness. Whenever he lies down, the stiffness used to aggravate. So in the midnight, it used to get aggravated many times. While turning in bed, he used to get up from the bed and he was disturbed, his sleep was disturbed. Between 2 to 4 a.m., he has given very specific time modality for that, 2 to 4 a.m. This is the most severe pain I used to get. Then I asked, what do you do? He said, I have to wake up, I have to walk certain distance, 2, 3, 4, 5 feet. Then again, I used to come and sit down. Whenever I'm moving little bit, I feel relaxed, the stiffness disappears. But as soon as I lies down, it gets aggravated. Whenever I'm turning towards the left side, it used to get aggravated much more. So that was very, very important thing. The pains were very fast, and they are stitching as if something is stitching inside. It is associated with chronic constipation. He had chronic constipation since last 5-6 years with very hard stools. He had pains in nads as well as pains in his hip joints, along with that pain in back. Then there is another feature which was observable was that his face was absolutely puffy, swollen. And one more thing which he has explained, that doctor, whenever I used to eat something, the backache starts. After eating, the backache used to get aggravated. Stiffness was the characteristic over there. The fixity was there. And the claudication, the spinal canal stenosis, the indication is claudication. He was not able to walk very few footsteps. So it was a case showing the puffiness of face, the blotted eyes, then blotted face, head, and associated with severe lumbosacral backache. I have done the same test. I have checked his knee reflexes, ankle reflexes, and they lost after walking for a few footsteps. So it was clear-cut diagnosis was spinal canal stenosis. The only remedy which I thought was the Kali Carbonicum. Because Kali Carbonicum has a very chronic lumbago. Burik has mentioned one important thing, back and legs gives out. This is very typical feature. It is a very useful remedy in chronic types of backache where stiffness is the characteristic. Stiffness is associated, think of Kali Carb. Stiffness is a characteristic of the psychotic miasm. This is deep psychotic remedy, acts specifically at the lumbosacral articulation. And constipation was typical of carbon group, that is chronic constipation, which very large hard stools, that is typical of carbon. So I have selected Kali Carbonicum. I have given it in high potency. Because I expected result at deeper plane, I have given Kali Carbonicum 1 ml, 3 doses on day 1, 3 doses on second day. Associated with, I have started him on biocombination 26. That theory I have explained many times. How do I used to use 26? And I have continued the case. When patient returned after span of 15 days, he was much relieved. He felt better after taking the Kali Carbonicum. So I have continued with it. I asked him one exercise. I asked him to walk for first day the 5 minutes, the second day 6 minutes, third day 7 minutes, and meet me after 15 days. And tell me how much you can walk. When he returned after for second follow-up, he was able to walk nearly about 20 minutes, which was not possible. And this basically it is without claudication. And I asked him, continue the same exercise till you catch the 45 minutes at a time. He has continued that. Then I have told him spinal extension as well as spinal flexion exercises along with the same remedy. I have increased the potency, the Kali Carbonicum 10 m, then later on after 6 months 50 m also. The patient was completely recovered and he was able to move, play, everything later after 6 months. It is a wonderful remedy which has capacity to resolve the stiffness of the back. So if you are not getting settled, if you are not getting results with regular common similimo, think of Kali Carbonicum, especially in backache, which is of chronic nature with stiffness. And the simple word of the patient is back and legs gizzard. कंबर पर पाय कामात न गेली, पाय पर कामात न गेले. This is a typical sentence which they used to use. This is very, very characteristic of Kali Carbon. And pains are characteristic, stitching type of pain and darting. Darting means they are coming suddenly, very fast. Those types of pains are there in Kali Carbonicum. So that fellow was completely recovered with the help of Kali Carbonicum. So such a wonderful remedy. I have used it a number of times in backache cases and also in specifically in asthmatic cases where asthma used to get aggravated at midnight. And second important thing, it used to get aggravated by lying down, better by sitting or bending forward. That was the typical modality of Kali Carbonicum. One more thing I used to think whenever patient explains, patient says that whenever I am coughing, the phlegm comes out and it goes out directly in case. That is the characteristic of Kali Carb. They cannot control the while they coughing, the phlegm throws away forcibly. That is the Kali Carb. In Kali beach, it never comes out. It sticks to the mouth. Patient has to remove it. That is the Kali bichromicum. This is the difference between Kali Carb and Kali bichromicum. Kali bichromicum also have midnight aggravation. Kali bichromicum, you have severe backache where pain is situated in pinpoint. Patient defines it with the point of the finger. But in Kali Carbonicum, it is the belt area. That's why it is called as small of back is paining in Kali Carbonicum. So these are things which one must not forget when thinking of the Kali Carbonicum. Let us go with the Allen's Cunard suit. Let us see what he says about the Kali Carb. I think we might require 2 lectures to complete the Kali Carb. A big remedy, big polycreation. Kali Carbonicum, potassium carbonate. Dr. First prover is Hahnemann, K2O3CO2. For diseases of old people, dropsy and paralysis. First sentence of the remedy. Old people remedy, very important old people remedy. Never forget, this is one more remedy. If the patient suffered from pneumonia and patient is not well since pneumonia, think of Kali Carbonicum. This is one remedy one should not forget. For diseases of old people, dropsy and paralysis with dark hair, lax fiber, and inclined to obesity. First sentence defined the whole action. Obesity. Obesity is the characteristic of Kali family. Added added with carbonicum, again obesity. Laxity is characteristic of carbons. So this is the constitution with which patient can approach to you. There are obesity, the remedies mentioned over there, ammonium carb, graphitis, calcarea carb. There are many more. So these are very important remedies. After loss of fluids or vitality, particularly in anemics, loss of vital fluids means whenever there is an hemorrhage, whenever there is any hemorrhage, loss of fluid, vital fluid, and producing an anemia, this remedy is a very useful remedy. Cinchona, phosphoric acid, phosphorus, sorinum, very close to them. Pains are stitching. Stitching means टोचल्यासारखं darting very fast, वेगाने जाणार आहे. Worse during rest and aggravated, lying on affected side. Stitching, darting better during rest and aggravated and lying down on painful side. That is the bryonia. Exactly opposite modalities, bryonia and Kali Carb. So bryonia feels better while lying on left side. Kali Carb gets aggravated by lying on left side. Bryonia, the pains gets ameliorated by lying on painful side. Kali Carb, it gets aggravated. Both of them are stitching pain remedies, but one is subacute in action, that is bryonia is subacute in action. Kali Carbonicum is very deep acting remedy, having action nearly about 40 to 50 days, as explained by Gibson Miller. Cannot bear to be touched, very sensitive to touch. The painful part, they never allow you to touch that part. That is very typical with them. Starts when touched even ever so lightly, especially on the feet. So if they are complaining of pain anywhere, if they are having pain in the feet, they are having pain in the knees or even in back, if you try to just touch them, they starts. The pain, they are very, very sensitive to the pain. And they never allows you to touch. This is very important thing. We cannot bear to be touched. Great aversion to being alone. Great aversion to being alone. So they cannot remain alone. Shankaran sir have explained one important rubric. Company desire for it treats them outrageously, and this is Kali Carb. Company desire for it treats them outrageously. This is very typical of the Kali Carbonicum. They desires company. They cannot remain alone. But even though that fellow comes to help him, he never treats them properly. This is Kali Carbonicum. This is the problem of Kali Carb. So great aversion to being alone, like arsenic, like bismuth, like lyco, and desires to be alone. They are ignatia, the naxomica, the natriums. They always remains to be alone. Bag-like swelling between the upper eyelid and eyebrow. Upper eyelid and eyebrow. The swelling is specifically as if there are bags of fluid which are there. This is very typical. This is the observation one has to make. Weak eyes after coition, pollution, abortion, measles. Very typical that weakness of eyes specifically after coition. Very typical. It is given in italic. Pollutions. Pollutions means it is a seminal discharge. It's called as pollution. In repertory, this word is there, pollution. It is a seminal discharge. Abortions. So weakness of eyes after abortion, weakness of eyes after measles. Stomach distended, fullness in stomach, sensitive, feels as if it would burst. Excessive flatulency, everything she eats or drinks appears to be converted into gas like iodine, like lycopodium, like cinchona, like even many other remedies where this typical feature is present. Carbovage. Nosebleed when washing the face, again close to ammonium carb. In the morning, ammonium carb, arnica, whenever they starts washing the face, the nose bleeds. Toothache only when eating. So Toothache has characteristic whenever there is a toothache associated with throbbing pain, aggravated when touched by anything warm or cold. So slightest touch of either cold or warmth aggravates the toothache and it has very typical pulsating throbbing pain. Backache, no backache. Backache is very characteristic. Backaches associated with sweating, the weakness, especially after abortion, after labor, after metrorrhagia or associated with metrorrhagia. Backache when eating, backache while walking, feels as if she must give up and lie down. This is claudication. They starts walking and they feel just sit over there, not possible to go ahead. That is claudication. Kali Carb has that specific weakness. The cough is very characteristic, dry paroxysmal, loosens viscid mucus or pus which must be swallowed, spasmodic with gagging and vomiting of ingesta, cup hard white smoky masses fly from throat when cupping. Underline this sentence. Patient tells this specifically. Doctor, whenever I am cupping, it gets out directly, like Badiega, like Chelidonium. These are two remedies which are having the similar type of feature. Feels badly weak before menstruation. Before menstruation, they get very, very weak, very bad, severe backache before and during menses, very severe backache. That is very characteristic of the Kali Carb. Labor pains insufficient, so this is good remedy specifically during delivery labor. If there is a severe violent backache and wants to back pressed, think of Kali Carb like causticum. And you can give the Kali Carb and the backache settles and patient delivers normally. Asthma relieved when sitting up or bending forward or by rocking, worse from 2 to 4 a.m. This is typical time modality of Kali Carbonicum 2 to 4 a.m. aggravation. Person suffering from ulcerations of the lungs can scarcely get well without this antisori. Hahnemann said by Hahnemann. So whenever there are pneumonias and ulcerations in the lungs and patient is not getting recovered, think of Kali Carbonicum, wonderful remedy to be utilized. Difficult swallowing. So there is difficulty in swallowing, dysphagia, sticking pains in the pharynx as of fishbone, like nitric acid, like heparsal, where there is sticking pains inside fishbone like sensation. Food easily gets into the windpipe. Another important feature of Kali Carbonicum. Pain in back when swallowing. Whenever patient swallows the back, there is always a backache associated. Very typical concomitant. So difficulty in swallowing, at the same time backache is associated. Very typical concomitant. Constipation, the stools are large, difficult with stitching, colic pains in the pains an hour or two before. So patient is unable to pass stools because of largeness, hardness and painful it produces. The heart tendency to fatty generation. So fatty degeneration, this is pathological symptom, general, pathological general, but this is very characteristic. Another remedy which is mentioned for fatty degeneration of what? Phosphorus. Heart as if suspended by the thread like lachesis, it is the same sensation. So heart as it feels so weak and he cannot, he feels that his heart is, it is suspended by a thread. It is so loose inside the chest that is feeling over there. Very much inclined to take cold. They are very easily gets affected by the cold weather. Basically, in cold weather, all complaints gets aggravated. Backache, very severe backache during cold weather, winter weather. Kali Carbonicum is the remedy. Their backache is better in summer. Same is true for the asthma. Asthma is aggravated in cold season, better in warm weather or summer. Relationship, complementary remedy is carbovage. Compare bryonia, lycopodium, natramure, nitric acid, and stannum, which are very close to them. But bryonia is opposite exactly in modality. Lycopodium, yes, definitely it comes closer to the Kali Carbonicum, but modalities are different. Kali Carb, it is 2 to 4 AM aggravation. In Lycopodium, it is 4 to 8 aggravation. Kali Carb lycopodium, very specific, right to left, that is very typical action and extension is there with the lycopodium. Follows well after the Kali self, phosphorus tannum in loose rattling cup. So these are the remedies which precedes well. He has mentioned over there that Kali self, the phosphorus, even in Spigelia is also one more remedy which one must think. Will bring on menses when Natramur, though apparently indicated, fails. Hahnemann. So see, even Hahnemann have mentioned that Natramur is indicated, Natramur is given, but menses are not appearing. Think of Kali Carb. This is the hint. This such types of hints in the books has a meaning. These are the things which one must utilize and confirm. So this is very important feature which he has mentioned regarding this. Will bring on menses when Natramur, though apparently indicated, fails. Action is 40 to 50 days. Generally, this should not be repeated too much. Single dose is very good. Generally used in 30 to higher, but keep caution regarding using in cases of active tuberculosis. Very must cautiously used in nephrotic syndrome or Bright's disease, because even in heart troubles, you use this remedy cautiously. You should not go on repeating the remedy. Antidote is camphora and coffea. These are the two remedies which you can use as an antidote to Kali Carbonicum. So this is a wonderful remedy one must learn. Even from Boric. Boric has mentioned very clearly about many features of the Kali Carbonicum. And there is one thing I want to tell. There is one remedy which is not mentioned by Allen as a complementary is Naxomica. Naxomica is also complementary, and for Nux, the Kali Carb is complementary. So this is one more remedy one should add over there, the Naxomica. Even many times Naxomica acts as an acute to the Kali Carb. So a depicting polycrest, I have treated many cases of spinal canal stenosis, the disc prolapse, the ankylosing spondylitis, the rheumatoid arthritis, with the help of this depicting polycrest where the symptoms matches and modalities matches. The stitching pain is characteristic, then involve aggravation by lying down, aggravation by lying on left side, aggravation 2 to 4 a.m., amelioration by moving about. These are very typical. Aggravation during winter season, amelioration during the summer season. These are very essential modalities and associated concomitant of constipation over there. There is one feature which is not mentioned over there, but there is one rubric under which Kali Carb comes. They are very cowardice, fearful, frightful people, and they feel their anxiety in stomach. That is the rubric. Anxiety felt in stomach is Kali Carbonicum. So this is very important feature. Anxiety felt in stomach. So patient, what patient says? Patient, doctor, माझ्या पोटात गोळा आला. That is, मी इतकं घाबरून गेलो ना, माझ्या पोटात गोळा आला. That is anxiety felt in stomach. Very typical of the Kali Carbonicum feature. So this is a very important remedy in such types of disorders. Asthma, which is very characteristic. Chronic pneumonia, this is wonderful remedy. So this remedy has many facets. My suggestion: go through the Boric Smart Remedica, read it once. You will understand the depth of Kali Carbonica. So we have finished one more polycrest from the third year syllabus, Kali Carbonicum. Tomorrow we'll meet with another remedy. Till that period, any questions, queries are there, we can have a chat. Any queries? So we'll conclude
Sir,
and yes.
sir, Natamur is the hot medicine and Kali Carb is the chili medicine.
Correct.
According to last line, when Natamur fail, we shall consider the Kali Carb.
Yes,
It is not
that is
understood.
only for amenorrhea. That is mentioned only for amenorrhea. Second important thing, Grashi, she has asked, can we use it osteoarthritis? Why not? Definitely, but rheumatoid arthritis is more common. Inflammatory arthritis, Kali Carb plays a very vital role, very important role. Osteoarthritis, no doubt, you can use, definitely. If the symptoms matches, you can use it for anything. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you, and we'll meet again tomorrow with the next remedy. Till that, good
So
night.
thank you very much, sir.
Okay.
Thank you very much and good night, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you, sir.